Run those spaz on this motherfucker.
Ha. E&E. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. It's harder to sleep. At nighttime I plan. In the daytime I execute plan. Watch the advance, split it with fan. Single we nothing, play beaches on sand. Check the expand, we built up the brand. Came a long way from shaving the grass. Shout out to the most high above. All the motivations out the mud. Now when I leave, I'm out of touch. This side more like turn it up. Major diff between love and lust. At the end, all start with trust. Like Lou Haynes up in them shorts. Played it wet like I'm on the coast. This hit mount, no brag and boast. Different respect like bread and toast. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true.
Sometimes we win, but I never lose. Accepting defeat, excuse me, refuse. Lyrically spit, just one of my rules. All in my zone like Syracuse. Don't just sit, my blow a fuse. Like Tupac, we spit camera crews. Your voice is lit, cameras and views. 100 mixtapes, no interviews. Sometimes we stall, sometimes we bruise. Just know the path is something we choose. Never we rap, we pack venues. Rapping these beats is my revenues. Cats is fake, look at these dudes. Think shit sweet, like sugar cubes. Santa Fe mean, body is rude, tires is clean, look at them shoes. Just keep winning and do what you do. Cause that's how we move. Follow our image and do what we do. We showing the proof. 3-story house with 40 rooms. 4 in the back with swimming pools. Nothing is free, we pay our dues. Smoking that sticky Gorilla Glue.
Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true.
I gotta win, don't know how to lose. Clean as a fuck, bright in my jewels. Burning this gas, stink up the room. Palmers and Leafs, we dropping it soon. Butcher with L's, exit or doom. Locking the game, crazy is true. D&E shit, this what we do. Charging you niggas cause we pay-per-view. Silence the critics and fuck niggas too. Hating is only gonna get you the flu. It's common, I'm cold, the virus is proof. Gelato the strain, my shit is the truth. We on the up, rally the troops. All of my niggas just spaz in the booth. That's all about business, I got on the suit. We plan to get millies and hop out of coops. I'm Tropicana, I got the juice. My bitch is bad, sweet as a tooth. Jacking my style, niggas really be mad. I fuck up the flow that they think they might have. Straight to the money, I'm getting the bag. Leaving them leaking, go get on my pad. I'm one of the best, I refuse to be last. Thought we was done, now we right on your ass.
Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie, say true. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie,
just keep winning and do what you do, man. You know, what's good with everybody, man? You already know what it is. It's Thursday evening. Apologize for the tardiness. You know, I had to take care of some things. And it's good luck, good fortune enough that Yabi was running a little bit behind too. So it all worked out though. But we here and we about to get straight to it, man. You already know what it is. It's Thursday night, financial awareness, man. You know what I'm talking about? With my girl Yabi, we here. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm talking about? Last week we talked about
Roth IRAs.
Yeah, Roth IRAs. You know what I'm saying? My brother, Mr. O, you know what I'm saying? He said that he caught the playback of that, and you know what I'm saying? He was like, you know, he was intrigued by that. You know what I'm saying? It's my homie from out of Chicago. You know what I'm talking about? I'm pretty sure he about to be tapping in here pretty soon. You dig? And you know what I'm saying? We here, man. Let me take this off the screen. We were supposed to be in the IUL'S, man, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had something I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to make it in time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to improvise. You know what I'm saying? But next week, we will be in the IUL'S. You know what I'm saying? And from that next week on forward, we'll be at the IUL'S. You know what I'm talking about? So it's a beautiful thing. I got my girl Yabi in the building. You know what I'm talking about? We here. You know what I'm talking about? Now, this is something that I really been, you know what I'm saying, actually looking into myself. You know what I'm saying? And, like doing my own little research in. But so it's only right that we had this conversation tonight. You know what I'm saying? I just tell y'all a brief story real quick, man. When my brother got untimely taken away, you know what I'm talking about? He didn't have no life insurance. XL Pro, what happened, man? K-Roll ain't had no life insurance, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's just say, you know what I'm saying, the financial burden that is placed upon your loved ones, you know what I'm talking about, when you get up out of here, unfortunately, before the appointed time, it can be very expensive. Very expensive. The average funeral on average is what, like 10,000?
It can be anywhere from 8 to 12.
Yeah, but I said somewhere, I knew it was a range, 8 to 12 bands. And you might think to yourself, like on the low side, 8 bands, that's not a lot of money for a funeral, but considering the average American average, which means most of us probably don't even got like $1,000 in our savings account. So considering that being the numbers, you know, $8,000 on the low end is very expensive. Most people cannot afford it. Most people do not got 8 bands to spend on your ass if you untimely pass. So it's only right that we're having this conversation tonight, man. I'm looking into a couple different things, you know what I'm saying? And it's good that we're having this conversation tonight, y'all, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to definitely be getting with y'all, obviously, as far as some insurance for myself and for my daughter, you know what I'm talking about? Because, you know, I mean, I'm a pretty healthy guy. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably one of the most healthiest dudes you probably know if you know me personally. You know what I'm talking about? But you just never know. You know what I'm saying? And on the unfortunate event that you untimely pass before the appointed time, it's nice to be covered. Make sure your peoples ain't going to have no burden, and make sure you good. Whatever investments we're going to talk about all of that, right? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to fall back. You know, we're going to let the expert do what she got her look. Y'all got her notes and everything. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about, man. Tap in, walk with us, man. You know?
But yeah, that's really what it's about.
Right.
What a lot of people don't, I guess, realize until it actually happens is when there's a death in the family, or, you know, health does directly correlate with wealth.
Right.
As soon as there's a death in the family, it immediately creates a financial issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it's an automatic thing. So
right.
We got to kind of be aware of that and be prepared for it. Even though it's not the most fun conversation to have, it still has to be had. Like, you got to be prepared for it. And it's kind of crazy. I was watching a TV show today, and even though it's a TV show, these type of things really happen. You know, the mother, you know, ends up going into a coma, or ends up having to be on life support. You know, now her sons have to decide if they want her to be alive or take her off the machine.
It's a TV show?
Yes, on a TV show, but these are also things that really happen in real life.
Right. Yeah.
But it just kind of resonated with me, like, yo, they really don't care. Like, so the mom's on the table, basically brain dead, and in the middle of trying to decide if I'm gonna keep my mom on a defibrillator or not, the accountant, the hospital accountant walks in. It's not funny, but we got to be realistic here. Like the hospital accountant walking in, like, yeah, I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through. However, we got this bill.
It's crazy.
You know, or don't let a check bounce. You know, let's say you did, you know, have care going on in there.
Right.
And, you know, it starts to run up. Like, it could be $20,000 a day in a hospital, depending on your situation. But you could rack up thousands if you don't have insurance. And just basic health insurance, you can really rack up a bill.
That's crazy.
So yeah, and it's kind of like a business for them. Like, they coming in like, yeah, we need our bread. You know what I mean? Or if you need an organ, if you need a down payment or whatever you have to pay for, if you don't have the money, they don't really care about the sob stories. They'll try to say they'll hold it off as long as they can, but they want you up out of there, or, you know, you got to go home and figure that out.
Man, that's crazy. It's a dirty game.
It is. So you have to have that set up. So first and foremost, before I even go really deep digging into life insurance, I want to talk about emergency funds.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people don't have the emergency funds. We keep trying to skip the steps of building our financial house. So, you know, when you build a house, how do you typically build your house? You want to start with what? You want to put the roof on first, or the foundation?
Definitely. No, I'm just putting some image up on the screen. You feel me?
So you definitely gonna start with the foundation. So with that being said, we keep trying to skip steps with how we're building our finances, and a lot of that is, you know, you see a lot of people going straight into investing, which investing is fine, but nobody's budgeting. Like, you gotta have a budget to even know what your emergency fund is.
Right.
And then I like to look at two types of emergency funds. I like that immediate emergency fund, like that short-term emergency, like that quick fix.
Right.
Like, say your car.
Right.
You know, so you got to buy some tires,
right,
or
something like that.
You have a little fender bender, or just something. You got a medical bill that you can't kind of afford, came through, you know, stuff like that. And at minimum, you do want to have at least $1,000 saved up just on some little quick boom. Even if it's a down payment on something, you definitely want to have $1,000. Something more on the long-term side of your emergency fund, you really want to have at least 9 months of your monthly expenses saved up. So what that means is, let's say you're not working and you still got to live. You want to have enough money so that you can survive what you know, kind of like your basic living every month. So if it costs you $1,000 to survive every month, you want to be able to have like $9,000 at minimum saved up for your emergency fund. So that way you can kind of carry yourself along. But again, the way you know what those numbers are, you got to start with a budget.
Got to start with a budget.
You got to have that budget. Got to know what's coming in and what's coming out.
Right.
So that's how you know how you're living. And another thing we got to be careful with is we want to live outside our means. Like I said, as soon as you increase your income, we immediately feel like we got to increase our lifestyle.
Right.
And it's like, nah, coast that out for a little bit. Save your money.
Right. Fall back.
Yeah, like, you don't have to, just because you got a $3 raise don't mean you got to go now expand your house if you don't need space. You know, like.
Because, you know, man, like, you know, I just always, now that I'm more mature and I'm an adult now, and I'm coming into getting my financial awareness and intelligence up, man. You know, so I just be thinking now, like, I just don't need a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things that I used to just basically blow money on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't need a lot of stuff anymore. So I be thinking where I used to spend money on certain things, the money that I would spend on that, I'm just disciplined enough to just, like, keep it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of spending it on it.
I think we just started throwing stuff away anyway. We started that we don't use.
Right.
Along with the kids' stuff.
Right. Yeah, get rid of it, man. If it's taking up space and ain't bringing no value, get rid of it, man. And you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to putting some money away, man, you just, like I said, you just never know. And I'm just glad that I've been disciplined enough to do that, because I just had a situation where I had to spend some money that I had no intentions on having to spend.
Mm-hmm.
But due to me just being disciplined from just saving money, you know what I'm saying, just in case, you know what I mean, I was able to take care of what I needed to take care of. And you know what I'm talking about? It was it just put into you know what I'm saying, perspective for me, like the importance of saving money. You know what I mean? So I just want to share that with y'all.
No, yeah, having your finances in order is a problem solver.
Right.
Like, you know, they say money about happiness, but it's like, I sure want to find out. Give me some money and let me decide.
Right.
If I don't feel a little bit better getting some of these burdens up off of my back.
For sure.
Like, I think that'll make me feel a little light, a little happier. I can skip down the street a little bit knowing I don't have so much financial overhead.
Right.
So.
Because that stuff can get be stressful, man.
Yeah, people who kill themselves off of not having any money. Like, what they say, remember Wall Street crash when they talk about back in the day, them people
jumping out of them buildings and stuff.
It's not, I don't know why I'm laughing at
yeah, but I mean, it's just crazy, though. It's crazy to think about. Like,
it's wild.
It's wild, man. It's wild.
Yeah, but it can be stressful, especially if you have children depending on you.
Right. Bills.
It can take over, and it's like.
So it kind of makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. It kind of makes sense. I'm not gonna say it definitely makes sense, but it's kind of like silly if you don't have a plan put up or some type of situation to where you know whatever money you bringing in on a per weekly, per whatever basis, you putting a little bit up. You know what I'm talking about?
That part, especially with speaking of the life, you know, about to go into the life insurance.
Right.
You know, you hear a lot of people wanting the be your own bank, and you know, you want that freedom, which is cool. But how you gonna be your own bank when you don't even have your emergency fund?
Right.
Like, if you can't even support yourself for 9 months, what banking of your own are you doing?
Exactly.
Like, if we're gonna be realistic about it, and I think that's another thing, we not having real conversations about finances.
Right.
You know, we keep trying to run this fairy tale. It's like, no, it's a lot of management and discipline and not doing nothing and sitting still that is involved with money management. And I think that's missed. It's a lot of organization. You know, these next couple months, I have a lot of organizing to do, even for my own finances. And, you know, I always tell people to do a financial audit, do a, for yourself.
Right.
Like, really go through your account, your expenses account, and see what you're paying for that you probably not paying, that you shouldn't be paying for.
Right.
You know, see if you're getting double charged.
You saying paying for something you shouldn't be paying for?
Yeah, or getting double charged for something, or the subscription you done forgot about.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I see what
you're saying. Yeah.
Go through your banking and go through your accounts and just kind of really focus on what you're doing, and like, that's what you call a self audit.
Right.
On your account, and see what it is that you could cut out if you need to.
Right.
And that's another way of keeping your budget down. You know?
Unnecessary expenses.
Exactly.
And stuff like that.
Got a whole bunch of crap that you know you don't even be using. I know a lot of people complain about Apple. I'm always looking at them Apple charges, them iPhone, like, it's crazy. And then you got to go in there and realize, like, I got a bunch of shit here that I ain't even use. Like, I got to cancel so much stuff. So definitely do those audits.
I think I'll be needing to do here shortly, for real.
You be sitting around talking about, I know, where $200 go? Just disappear. It's time to start doing some financial auditing. So yeah. And with that, and that's really what life insurance is for. It's really income protection.
Right.
It's really to protect your income and, in a sense, kind of replace your income if something were to happen to you.
Right.
God forbid. So, just to put it in perspective, it's kind of similar to you know, you have given your daughter a certain lifestyle, right? Based off your current income. If something were to happen to you, she still got a life she still needs to be taken care of, you know? And if her lifestyle was based off of you know, the care you provided, she still needs to live off of that. Or whoever is now taking care of her needs to live off of that. Like, if it's just, you know, fees or whatever. Right. So the income protection comes into play. Not only is your family able to bury you, pay off any assets that you may have, such as if you own a house, to keep that house, things of that nature. And then again, your kids could live off of your income for the next 5 years if you have it set up that way, or the next 10 years, or however many years. So let's say if you do have a 6-figure income, you make $100,000 a year.
Right.
This is your daughter's used to that type of lifestyle. God forbid anything happened to whoever is in her care, whether it's your mom, she is still able to obtain that for her.
Right.
You know, so you show you that the children don't have to really miss a beat.
Right.
You know, she could pay off the house. So now we could keep dad's house. You know, she could
still pay the
she could
property
pay
tax or whatever
she
situation
could pay the taxes.
is.
She can maintain all her extracurricular sporting and things that she does,
Right.
and you know that type of stuff.
Right.
The things that just everything is going to be taken care of, and you know
If you had a business, keep the business going.
Right, you have everything.
Right.
And what we should be doing is having our stuff set up prior to checking out of here. You know, we hear it all the time about celebrities with the trust, and
Right.
you know they have it set up so the kids only get but so much at a time, so
Right.
they don't blow it.
Right.
You know, you don't have to just drop. You know, nobody's
Drop a
gonna
lump
drop.
sum,
Yeah, nobody's
yeah.
gonna drop no $500,000 on no child.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
Right.
But you could definitely have that set up. So that's what your life insurance is for.
Okay.
Your income protection. So I think when people hear life insurance, I've heard one lady say it was a jinx. She said, I feel like as soon as you get life insurance, you die. I said, girl, that's
That sounds like some crazy
I
stuff.
said, you're gonna die anyway. I said, death is 100%.
Yeah,
I
you're
guarantee
definitely gonna die, man. For sure.
we get insurance on everything else. You got insurance on your phone,
Your car.
your car, and then there's no guarantee that you're gonna break either one of those. It's a guarantee you want to check up out of here.
Right.
When is the question?
Right.
But it's a guarantee you checking up out of here.
For sure.
And when you do, you don't want to be a burden to your family or leaving something for your family
Right.
on your way out.
Right.
You know. So I guess we can start going over a few different types of life insurance.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get to it, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. You understand what I'm saying, man? It's me, you know what I'm saying, Stats from Facts. I got my girl Yabi in the building, XL Pro, all y'all in the clouds tapping in. Hey, look, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, get your notebooks, get your pens ready. You know what I'm saying? Taking notes. We going in. You know what I'm talking about? And we about to get straight to it. You know what I mean?
Yes. So there's
Definitely XL Pro.
There's definitely what he said.
He said very important information. Death is certain, life is not.
Man.
That's a fact.
You're not about to debate.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two types of well, there's more than two types, but the two main types is your term life insurance and your whole life insurance. So what is the difference? Glad you asked. So your term life is, you know, just how it sounds. People feel like it's term. However, or it runs out. However, the misconception is just because it's set up to be term doesn't mean it just goes away when that term comes up. You do have your end of term options where you actually are able to keep those whole policies, you know, for the remainder of your life. And term also allows you to have certain flexibility and options, you know, as you go along the way. You know, one example is like, you know, decreasing term, which basically is kind of like you rent your wealth until you can own it. So
Say that again.
like you rent your wealth until you can own it. So, for example, right now, let's say you own a house, right? Or you bought a house,
right?
But you don't necessarily. You still owe $150,000 on the house.
Yeah, you don't own the house.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So you still are paying on this house.
Right.
So when you got your life insurance policy set up, you put in that $150,000 to cover in case something happened to you, your children can still pay off the remainder of that house. But as you notice, you keep living. Well, I'm still paying on this house and now I only owe $140,000.
Right.
You can have those type of decreasing where you can kind of drop it. So that way, since the house is being paid off, you can take that coverage from out the policy. Because again, if something happened to you, well, now they don't need 150 because you only owe 130 now. Right. Or, you know, and it just keeps going down until the house is paid off, and now you just have the death benefit or whatever left.
And what's it called again?
It's called decreasing term.
Decreasing term.
Yeah. So you can have, you know, so there are some options with term policies. And another concept with the term policy is, well, another benefit of a term policy, it is less expensive compared to a whole. Those monthly premiums are going to be a little bit more expensive when you have a whole life policy versus your term. So there's you know, those situations there. That just depending on your budget, what you can and can't afford, all that good stuff. So again, like I said, you have your end of term options. You can still keep them. They don't just poof go away. And again, more likely to pay out if something were to happen. They're going to pay out. You can always get living benefits within them if you want that. If you know what a living benefit is, that is, let's say something happens to you where you just physically cannot work, like the doctors are. It's just, let's say you're paralyzed from the bottom down, but you're still alive.
Right.
You still got to live. So now you have to live off of that. Like you can have those built into your policies as well.
Okay.
So
I'll never do that.
Yeah. So those are some options there. Now your whole life policy is just as it says, it's to your whole life.
Right.
Typically, not necessarily to your whole life. Basically, the policy will read into 100. Then sometimes, well, what if I live to 104?
Right.
Now that I live this whole life policy, is it still is it really my whole life? You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with these whole life policies too.
So what would happen in the event that you lived until the end of your?
Depending on the company, they may or may not have anything for you. Because again, once you hit 100 years old, they may have to come to you with some end of term options. Like, well, I thought it was my whole life. Well, they don't expect the black man to live to 100.
Right. That's crazy, man.
You live to 100, they're gonna be like, wait a minute.
Wow. Man, I never really even thought about that. So what Excel Pro say? What my brother Excel Pro say? He said, I have insurance license also. She knows her product placement well. Very on point.
I tried.
I told you Excel Pro, man. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna have a chick come on the show, you know, I ain't gonna have no silly girl come on the show. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I mess with real ones. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? My girl Yabi, you know what I'm saying? She know her stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, thank you for that. But yeah, you definitely should. I don't know if you got a broker or anything. We definitely could talk about some things if you need somewhere to need a home. But
yeah, you know what I mean, man. PuricleFire.com. You know what I'm talking about? Tap in, walk with us. You need.
So your whole policies, they are a little more expensive, and you have that cash value. That's the fun part.
Right.
You know, that's the part everybody get into it for. They're like, oh, I want to get that because I can build up the cash value.
Right.
And if I need to borrow from it, I can. Which is true. But there's a process to this.
Right.
So think of it like this. When you get a whole life policy, you have two banks. You have your death benefit. So let's say you have your policy, just going to throw a random number. It's a death benefit of $100,000.
Right.
So if anything happened to you, cash out.
You know,
$100,000, right? So your death benefit is $100,000. Then you got this other bank over here, this other account, I should say, over here, which is your cash value. And you build that over time. Well, where do you build that money from?
You having good health, not going to the hospital?
No. Part of your premium that you're paying for this is why they're more expensive.
Right.
Portions of that contribute to that cash value. So you have to build out over time.
Oh, okay.
Now, depending on the company, which again, you got to read the fine print. As I tell everybody, read your policies. So don't make no assumptions. It could take anywhere from, it could be 1 year up to, I've seen up to 7 years. Actually, no, Gerber is trash. Yes, I said it. Gerber is trash.
Trash. Man. Y'all be said y'all trash, so y'all trash, man.
Gerber is trash. I've seen them go years before they start actually putting into your cash value account, which is wild. So sometimes it can take about a year before they even start putting funds into the cash account. And then when it starts to go in, it's not like immediately going to be $20,000. Like you have to
build up to that.
You got to build up to that. You got to keep that going. You got to keep putting into that and keep contributing. And part of that comes out of that. And if you think that the insurance company ain't taking a part of your money and investing it the same way the bank invests your money to make that money back, you tripping.
Right.
So, and that's the same thing with the IUL'S, except for it's literally an index universal life policy. So the index is for, like the index, like on the stocks. Right. Your S&P 500. Part of what you're paying, that premium, you have now a part of that is how, you basically have an investment account open, and basically it's that increase is based off of how the stock market is doing. So that's just that. And again, being your own bank isn't the problem. The issue with this whole be your own bank narrative and the IUL narrative, it's being pushed onto people who it's not meant for.
Poor people, basically.
Poor people, right. If you are only making $30,000 a year,
Right.
you don't need an IUL policy.
Right.
Like, because it's really not going to benefit you because you're not going to get that quick return that you want.
Right.
Like, what people be missing when Waka Flocka did his thing and said what he said, you know, the thing everybody say, I got
Who was on the Breakfast Club when he did that?
I don't know what he was on, but he was
Yeah.
talking about, I got a policy, I put the $1 million in, and I'm listening to Trump and all other stuff. Again, it's not necessarily wrong. It's just the fact that, do you got $1 million to just dump into a policy right now?
Right.
No. Most of our people don't. Y'all don't
Right.
have $1 million to just dump into a policy right now. Most of y'all don't have $20,000 to just dump into a policy right now. A lot of us are still trying to even get money to get our businesses started, trying to get bills paid. Nobody is dumping like thousands of dollars like that into a policy.
Facts.
What we are doing is we little by little are investing. You know, you can open accounts, and then there are ways you can start marketing with little as $25 if you want to open an investment portfolio.
$25.
$25. You don't now with these big companies, of course, some big firms, you know, when they like you gotta have at least 5 million and you can come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you know, you do have those companies. But me and my people, we don't move like
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? We definitely work for all of our people. So yeah, that's the difference in the policy. The other thing with the whole life is this. Again, you got your 100,000. Now let's just say you do go ahead and you build up to that $20,000, right? Now we cooking, but now you need to borrow from that $20,000.
Right.
For one, it's not even a guarantee that they're gonna give you the whole $20,000.
That's crazy.
They've been messing around and get you half of it because they say, well, you gotta wait to get the other half.
Wait, how long though?
It depends on the insurance company. You gotta ask them
Sheesh.
because every company is not the same. Then
It's
you
a
have
dirty
companies where, okay, you can get the whole 20,000, but you got to pay interest on it. Why am I paying interest on my own money that I put in here? Then you got to pay it back with interest. Then if you don't pay it back, they subtract it from your death benefit. So let's say you take that 20,000 and you never pay it back, and then something happened. Now the death benefit is only 80,000. It's not 100.
Oh, that's
because the
crazy.
insurance company is going to take back that 20,000 because that cash value has no beneficiary. So let's say if nothing happens to you and you've accumulated the 100,000 and you then took the 20,000 and paid it back, you did everything you're supposed to do, and if something happened to you, guess what your family gonna get? $100,000. They're never gonna see that extra 20 that you accumulated. That gets absorbed. These are the words and terminology they use on your documents. They gets absorbed by the company.
That's a dirty game, man. It's a dirty game, man.
So you gotta be careful of that.
Definitely.
So this is why I don't push IULs.
Right.
This is why it shouldn't be pushed in our community, especially when our people are not being fully educated in finances.
Right.
Our people can't even budget 10 bands properly. Like, what are we talking about here?
Right.
Like, we kind of have to put our pride aside and admit what we don't know. That's the only time we're going to learn. Like, just admit, like, I'm struggling juggling $100,000. That's okay. Who wouldn't? If it's the first time you've come into six figures, you would not be able to juggle that, and that's okay. Right. But you could just reach out to someone, a bookkeeper, a tax professional. You know, like, hey, help me out here. This, you know, somebody.
Somebody out there.
If somebody that knows some money,
right? Just sitting out here naked, just dumb. You come into a situation where you making six figures. And you don't even know how to maintain it or how to handle it.
This is how all these celebrities, all of these athletes, these artists get duped into these bad contracts.
Right.
They get robbed by their accountants and their tax professionals because they don't know anything. So now it's like, even if you are going to hire someone, you for yourself still need education. If that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even Oprah says she still counts her bread. She still looks at her account.
Right.
Yeah, she hires a whole bunch of people to take care of her money. She ain't filing her taxes. Right. But you're going to look at them bad boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't just be, like you said, just be out here naked, or you're going to look like Steve Harvey. When he said he owed all that money. Why? Because he trusted someone to do it, never looked at nothing, just signed away and cut the check. Just signing and cutting checks because he's a big baller. If he would have looked at his documents and had the education and know what he was looking at, he would end up in the whole $5 million. Because he would have had, and then most of that is just from penalties and things of that nature. So
million.
Yeah, you have to have that education for sure.
Y'all heard what my man XL Pro said, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. You know what I'm talking about and all of that, man. Tap in, walk with us, man. It's me, your brother, Virgil Berry, a.k.a. Stats with the Fast. I got my girl Yabi in the building. And we sitting here putting y'all up on this financial awareness game. You did IUL'S, term life, whole, you know what I'm saying, insurance policies. You know what I mean? Tap in, walk with us, man. You already know what it is.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm seeing where the people. I don't be known seeing what you see, but I see the comments. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really what it is. To be your own bank, same thing. You know, you're using the insurance policy as a housing vehicle,
Right.
in that sense, with the be your own bank. Because again, you are just putting your money in there. So again, if you got $100,000, you're just dumping it into this so that you can like basically like an investment account, which is why you might as well just take your money, open up an investment account. Like that's, you know what I mean? It's like you keep going around in these middlemen and these backdoor ways instead of just directly just doing it. Like just invest the right way. Like open up your investment account, get with an advisor and get your account set up. You know, so that's why, you know, I'm big on buy time, invest the rest. You save money because at the end of the day,
that's what I like that. He said buy time and invest the rest.
Yeah, like because those home policies are so expensive. And really the whole theory is if we're building to be millionaires, once you get to a certain situation or when you get to a certain level in income, that's when they start using the insurance policies as their banks, because at this point my money gonna pay for me anyway. Like we straight, like we got everything already set up. A lot of them have trust. They got bread for 7 generations. They ain't worried about no $8,000 bill for no funeral. You know?
That's the last thing they worry about.
So that's why it's you're renting your wealth until you can own it. Because by the time I'm 75, I would hope I have retired the right way.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? And invested the right way to where if something were to happen to me, well, I'm straight. Everything's paid for anyway. I already got everything taken care of. You know what I mean? So all my money is already set up and everything is going to just kind of flow. Like you said, the businesses, everything kind of just flows right where it's how it's supposed to go, right to the children or to the trust, then to the children. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to set that up. Yeah, and that's how the other side lives. When we keep talking about that wealth gap, that's part of that wealth gap. And that's why a lot of it is education. A lot of it is resource. A lot of it is, application, applying knowledge. We just be knowing so much stuff. So many people just be knowing stuff and don't do nothing.
It's the difference between acquiring knowledge and just possessing and keeping and having the knowledge. There's a difference to be able to, apply that knowledge to where not only is it beneficial to you, but it's beneficial to others. In more ways than just financially too. Smash that like button. I like that, man. I like that right there. I'm going to use that one. So, you know what I mean? We talked about the IUL'S. We talked about term versus whole life. Now, I want you to dive a little bit more into this financial house thing, man. You know what I mean?
Well, when you're building your financial house, basically, I wish I had a picture of it.
We got the Googler right here. We can pull up a picture real quick. I'm already on it.
So when you're building your financial house, you build your house like you would build any other house. When you build a house, you're gonna start with your structure. You gotta start with your foundation. You always gotta put either a slab on the bottom, like you gotta put that concrete. You can't just start building the roof up and not having everything in order. So let's see what you got.
It's a whole bunch of them on here. Which one do you like?
Let me see. I can't even see what they say.
You need some glasses.
I do. But it's probably relatively the same. You could do that blue one or that other one.
This one?
No.
This one?
That's it.
It's on this one?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, that's it's probably a little bit different, but either way, when you're building a financial house, you want to start with a foundation. And the foundation of that is your protecting your income. Well, first in your budget,
Right.
and your emergency funds. You know, you got to know what your money is, what's coming in, coming out.
Right.
Like that's the first part, like what you even have to work with.
Right.
Now we're building this foundation. We got our emergency fund. Okay, now we got our income protection. We got that life insurance. We got our will. You know what I'm saying? And once you got that solid, now we can go into debt management. Debt management directly aligns with your credit. You know what I'm saying? If you have your debt managed and you have your spend down ready and you're living within your means and not overspending, every time, like I said, you just because you got to raise them, you got to increase your expenses.
Right.
A lot of people are, let's say it's cool to make $10,000 a month, but that's a struggle when your expenses are $10,000 a month as well.
Right.
You know, so you have nothing left over. So you got to know what you're working with. So that debt will help you increase your credit so that you want to maintain a good credit. So when you do decide to make a move, you got your credit good. It's like you want to stay ready, so you got to get ready.
Right. Right.
Once you got that debt and that credit, now you want to get your retirement together.
Yes.
You know, you want
Gotta
to
get that together because
you don't want to retire at 65. And I know I don't want to be a greeter at Walmart.
right.
Mm-hmm. I'm not doing it because I got to work. No. I want to be able, when I retire, I'm retired. Like I'm sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have that set up right.
Right. Facts.
And so what does that look like? How much money do you need to retire? What do you need at 65? When you turn 65, how much money do you need a month to be able to live at least another 50 more years if you did without, I ain't going back to work.
Right.
You know, so you got to have that retirement there. Then you got to start with your kids' college savings. You know, a lot of us want to do the college savings immediately.
Right.
And not saying you can't have those things set up, but you still have to do it. Like, and you could do it in, you know, kind of all together as you're building, but just be in mind, you have to take care of you.
Facts.
In order to take care of the kid.
That's a fact.
And I think sometimes we miss out on that because if you really look at it like, okay, let's say we do get into a financial rut and now I got to go pull money from, well, if I don't have the emergency fund, how am I getting the money?
Yeah. Where's it coming from?
Where's it coming from?
Right.
I don't have debt management, so it's not coming from there. I don't have retirement. I don't have a Roth IRA. I don't have investments. It's not coming from there. Oh, and I got the kids' college savings. You're going to end up pulling from your kids' college savings anyway.
Right.
So why even do that to yourself? Have your stuff built up right, because if you had it built up right and something come down, we got the emergency funds anyway, so we cool. Everybody good. So we have to start kind of looking at things in 360 or looking at things in a long, like ahead of it, like getting ahead of it, not in the now. Even though we need to make moves right now, we can't have that. We got to be more prepared.
Right.
We want to get life insurance when we on the table. You know what
I
mean?
They're
like,
about to die.
Like, no, nobody's about to help you.
Right.
Yeah, like no.
Right. You want to make sure you have that stuff
Yeah.
in order, man.
And then even if you do now, I just after just doing some research, in the Black community, 80% of Black people that do, first of all, 50% of Americans don't even have life insurance. And that's just American. It don't matter what your creed color is or anything. That ain't even the Black community. That's just Americans. So out of that 50%, how many that are Black or white? Now out of that, so you're looking at like 30% of Black people have life insurance. And that is either from a job or just ownership.
Right.
Now out of that 30%, only 80% of that has a life insurance policy that's only about $10,000.
Mm. So
yeah, we have enough money to bury you, but who's taking care of these kids? That's the thing we don't think about. If something happened, how we raising the kids? Now the kids' lives are turned upside down and changed forever because ain't nobody got no money.
Right.
You know, so we got to think about those things. Not having an emergency fund is wow. Like a lot of people don't know the Sandra Bland case. Her bill was $500.
Mm.
And it's kind of jacked up. Like, damn, we couldn't get $500 to just get her up out of there. That's wild. Like, because nobody had as an emergency fund. Like, nobody has $1,000 saved. And that's part of the wealth crisis within our community. Another thing you got to do is get your children covered. Stop thinking because their children don't need to be covered. You can get your child put within your policy as well, as a rider. So if you have your policy and it's like $100,000, you can just go ahead and add like an additional $25,000 if you need something covered in case something happens to your child before you, and they're covered.
Right.
And you're good. So
gotta make sure we cover the young ones, man.
Yep.
And that's another part of the life insurance too, man. Not only protecting your wealth and all that stuff, but also your wealth is also your children. You know what I mean? Up until a certain point. You know what I mean? Because them little joints, the little kid, they really ain't got no, really ain't add no value for a long time, man. Unless you have like a childhood genius or something like that.
Right.
But you know what I mean? We want to make sure if you establish in generational wealth, that's how you do it. So you can, make it, not so much as make it easier for your children, but just making sure it's a situation to where they ain't gotta struggle. They ain't gotta depend on nobody else for no financial support, or income. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of and people think when it comes to generational wealth, people think about starting a business.
Right.
Which is a good way to create generational wealth. But that's not the only way to go about creating and establishing generational wealth.
Creating more generational debt.
Right.
You don't know what you're doing.
Right, because everybody's not a businessman or business person.
And that's okay. Like people gotta be okay. It's okay to not be an entrepreneur.
Right.
Everybody's not an entrepreneur.
Right.
That just is what it is. And if you have a job, that's fine. And if you have and let's talk about the job insurance.
Right.
Because I'll talk to you about insurance, and they're like, "Oh, I got insurance already. I got my job."
Mm-hmm.
Well, just like your company car, company phone,
right.
That ain't yours. Like, as soon as you leave the job,
it's a wrap. And all that money coming out of your check, you putting in for that.
Yeah, and then if they do allow you to take it and own it, it's gonna be as just expensive, or if not more expensive, than getting a whole life policy by yourself.
Right.
So you're really not saving anything there. And you also got to be careful with active working clauses. So what people don't know is when you have those life insurances, not saying don't get rid of it, you keep it. It's a good supplemental insurance. But let's say you're on PTO or vacation and something happened to you. Your job will cover that because you have to be actively working.
Right.
Which means, and even if it is a day off, you gotta be working the next day. You know what I mean? There's a lot of verbiage in there, and
that's how them companies and corporations be getting over on us too.
Yeah.
With them benefits, man.
So you gotta be careful of that. So again, if you have insurance at your job, that's fine. But I definitely implore you to get some insurance.
Some other type of insurance on your own.
Yeah, where you own it yourself, it's yours. No matter
I think that's what I say. I'm gonna have to get with you because I'm looking into that right now because you know what I'm saying. The job offer you the little health insurance, the benefits, and all that stuff, though, man. But you know what I'm saying. But as far as getting a life insurance policy with your job, I think I'm gonna have to fall back on that one, man.
Man, listen.
Get my own life insurance policy that I'll pay for myself. Man.
That part.
Yeah, I think I would much rather do that. Because like she said, nobody, well, I ain't gonna say nobody, but depending on what type of person you are, you're not going to be working at this job for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
You don't plan on retiring from this job.
Right.
So you're going to probably working at this job for a year, maybe 2 at the most, just to establish whatever it is you might need to establish. And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
You really gotta love your job, and even that don't guarantee. Because what if they get bought out or they decide to shut down? Or, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean you're not working for another company. You can always be doing the same.
My Excel Pro said definitely about to get my own insurance policy. That's why I'm glad I know people like y'all because I know she's gonna put me up on game. I'm gonna get the best bang for my buck. You understand what I'm saying? And it's gonna be lucrative, and best of all, Yabby's gonna make it to where it's very affordable. You know what I'm talking about? So tap in, walk with us, man. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. You know what I'm saying? We got the beautiful Yabby putting y'all up on this game, this financial awareness game. You know what I'm talking about? like it's just kind of like spiritual roots with my pops. But you know, when I can interject and add something, I will. But for the most part, I'm like, yo, I'm sitting up here soaking up game. You know what I'm talking about? Because I mean, I know about finances as far as like, you know, from my personal experience, but you know, to know the ins and the outs and the outs and the in to take like I didn't know a lot of stuff y'all just said. So you know, that's why it's always good to have professionals in your circle to put you up on game. So in the event that you happen to come into some money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you already know we definitely do Excel promo. Excel Pro said we appreciate the time. You already know, man. It just you never know. Like just say for instance, now me, I'm used to getting bread. You know what I'm saying? I don't get much since I was a young boy, and I've been falling back because I ain't been in the streets since I've been home. But I still manage my money that I get from my job, like as if I was still in the street. I mean, I got bank accounts and all that stuff now, but I'm looking now to invest. You know what I'm saying? I opened up an account with Fidelity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking into some investments. But I'm also looking into insurance and all that type of stuff too. So, you know what I mean?
We get all the way together.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like I said, it's good to have people who you know what I'm saying, who can put you up on game about certain things so you can go about doing the things the right way. You don't make no mistakes. Cause like y'all always say, man, we ain't been taught this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm 41 and you know what I mean, I ain't been taught none of this stuff. If I knew all this stuff back when I was in the streets really getting to some money, you know what I'm saying? Maybe things would have been different. You know what I'm talking about?
A long time ago.
Man, listen here. I'm talking about listen, man. But we here now. So definitely about to get the insurance game popping and all that. So, you know. Sure. Smash that like button, man.
When it bought up all the Microsoft and Apple. Who knew?
Man, listen, let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all, when you a young, dumb dude, and you ain't thinking with foresight, right? Back in like 98, 99, right? Maybe 2000, right? Shout out to Cliff too, my man Adrian's pops. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cliff, man. Big Cliff. I remember, you know what I'm saying, because Cliff, you know what I'm saying, was the big homie, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, bro, I see y'all here getting some little bit of money, man. You know what I'm talking about? You might as well invest some of that money. And, you know what I mean? I'm just a young, dumb dude. Then I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? And Cliff was like, listen, I got an opportunity for you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's this new thing that's going to be real big, and I'm telling you, want to invest in it, man. He says, satellite radio. Mm-hmm. It's back in like 99. You hear me? Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking like satellite radio. I'm like, huh? Like, it's not that I just played and like, get out of here. I just didn't take heed. It's more like, oh yeah, well, that's what's up. Like, okay, but not really taking him serious though. And this was XM radio. You feel me? Now look where XM radio is today. If I would have made that initial investment back in 1999, what Cliff was telling me, what, $1,000? Mm-hmm. Man, I just be thinking that's one of the mistakes I be always thinking in my life. Like, man, I blew it, man. I remember,
but we never knew who would have known it was gonna blow up. Like
man, listen, but Cliff knew. Shout out to Adrian, my nigga, my brother Adrian. Some of y'all know Adrian, my brother Adrian, man. His dad Cliff. Big Cliff used to put us up on all type of game, man. I remember when Cliff came and be like, listen, man, XM radio. He said, I'm telling you, man. Sound like radio, it's the future, man. On the 99, nobody trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? We wearing Jabos and stuff, man. We got big dumbass t-shirts on and stuff, man. I wasn't even thinking about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I was a young boy. I was only like, what, 18, 19? You know what I'm saying? But had I really just sat down and paid attention to what he was saying and invested that money and kept on it,
millionaire right now.
I'll be, you know what I mean? I'll probably be up, super up right now. That's just something I always think about. You know what I'm saying?
But it's never too late for your kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's
exactly.
Like, even though you for yourself you missed out, you can still bring yourself a couple bands though.
Right.
Like, but you gotta get your kids all the way right.
Right. And that's why we had this show like this, so we can sit up here, chop it up with y'all about, you know what I'm saying, how to best go about informing yourself and educating yourself on finances, right? So we can make the best decisions, not only for ourselves, before our children as well, if we have children. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with being frugal. Nothing wrong with being responsible with your money, not spending on things you really don't need or don't add value. You know what I'm saying? Or contribute to you making more or making or provide. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no need to like spending extra bread where you really don't need to. You know what I'm talking about? And that's where budgeting comes in. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I'm about to be looking into too, because I mean, I self budget as far as like, but I mean, actually,
yeah,
you feel me? Like, I want to really sit down with y'all and really, you know what I'm saying, put together how, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna really put the budget together, what really goes into creating an actual budget and having it, you know what I'm saying, to where I want to, you know what I'm saying, do it that way. So, you know what I'm saying, so we gotta make it right and exact. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. And that, yeah. Gotta make sure your finances is right, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna drop this link. You need anybody got any questions? Wanna come up here and ask y'all a question, add to the conversation. You did, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can definitely sit up there and hit that link. It's right there in the comment section. I just dropped it.
Or you can send me an email if you want to put it in there. Info.
Oh yes, y'all need to add that to one of the tickers too. Did I add that to one of my banners? Hold on, let me see if I added that to one of my banners.
Well, all my handles are at Empirical Firm, EMPIRI.
I thought I added it to my ticker. No, I got to. I'll create a banner. Now it's www.empiricalfirm.com.
Yes. So you can find all my information. All my contact information will be on that site. All my handles are at Empirical Firm, so yeah, you can find it there. Inbox me or even email me any questions or to schedule a consultation as well.
Yeah. Oh no, not Amazon. Yeah, man. So I have to ask definitely have to add you to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, y'all see it, man. You know what I mean? Oh, that's not it. Hold on. Also on the ticker, my fault. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go check. Y'all be out.
Yes.
Any inquiries, any questions y'all might have for Yabi, any want to do business, y'all want to acquire her services, you know what I mean? Y'all make sure y'all go check her out at that website right there, right? You know what I'm talking about? Empiricalfirm.com. You understand what I'm saying? We here. It's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm talking about? Financial Awareness Thursdays, man. Listen, man, it's important, you know what I'm saying, to make sure, like, because some people, you know, contrary to popular, some of us is doing our thing out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people's actually making some money, so, you know what I mean? Huh?
Y'all just need some advice.
Yeah, you definitely need some advisors, you know what I'm saying? And I know we, especially us men, we get arrogant, we get cocky. We'll be thinking like we got it all figured out and all this stuff, but you know, you got to be smart enough to know that, you know what I'm saying, you don't, or you need to, especially you got to be smart enough to know that you don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? Be smart enough to know how much you don't know, and let the professionals take care of certain things. Right. That's something that I learned in becoming a businessman, is that I don't need to try to be the chief cook and bottle washer. You feel me?
You don't need to wear every hat.
Yeah, you don't need to wear every hat, because the truth of the matter is you just can't, because you just don't have the knowledge and skills and experience to wear every hat.
That's a fact.
You feel me? I mean, you could be out here, people think they've been in the streets all this time. Nah, but you don't know about financial houses. You don't know about IUL'S. You don't know about whole versus term insurance policy. You know what I'm saying? You don't know about stuff. Like, you don't know how to use your life insurance policy as a bank so you can invest in your own personal wealth. A lot of people don't even understand that that's possible or even a thing. Right. So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's always good to have professionals at your palm's reach, you know what I'm saying, that you can get in contact with and help you become financially responsible like how we all supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you got anything you want to say in closing, man?
No, just do your education, just do your research. And yeah, don't be afraid to get some coaching. Like I said, you can come always reach out to me, www.empiricalfirm.com, or email me at info@empiricalfirm.com, or yaba@empiricalfirm. Like, I'm so easy to reach.
Right. Basically, just hit up empiricalfirm.com.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Y'all want to get in contact with y'all, hit this website up right here. It's on the screen. Y'all see it.
Come find me on Facebook. I'm always posting on my Facebook links to my direct calendar. Just get on this calendar with me. We could do a quote. You can set up your policy, and we can set your policy up to where you don't have to make your first payment for like 30 days out. So,
right.
We could definitely get you set up, easy peasy, be approved quickly. Yeah.
You did. Tap in and walk with us, man. You know what I'm talking about? I love when y'all be coming on because she's so knowledgeable, she's so informative and well versed. You know what I mean? And like I said, I can tell when somebody not only just knows what they talk about, but y'all be actually does this though. She ain't just one of these people y'all see on Facebook talking about, I can help you fix your credit and all that crazy stuff. Now she like certified, licensed, all of that. She good to go. She like actually knows what's going on. She's official tissue like a referee with a whistle. And a rose bush with no thistles. You understand what I'm saying, man? Tap in, walk with us, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Tomorrow night, we getting straight to it. You already know what it is, man. Friday night, you know what I'm saying? E&E Fridays. We got a lot to talk about, man. There's a whole bunch to talk about, and we're going to get straight to it. You know what I mean? Y'all know how we do it every Friday over here at A Real Talk Podcast, man. Y'all know we're going to be doing the E&E Fridays with my brother King Els. I don't know if we're going to be in E&E Studios tomorrow, man. We might have to, do it streaming in with each other because I got some stuff I got to do Saturday early in the day, you know what I'm talking about? So I ain't, we go over there to Els crib, mess around, leave up out of there lit. You hear me? And I ain't trying to do that. You got to be responsible. Like, you got to be responsible with your finances. You did. Tomorrow night, though, we getting straight to it. You hear me? You already know how we do. Like I said, each and every Friday, me and my brother King Els, we going in Friday night, wrap up this week's trending events. There's a lot of eventful things that happen this week, One of them is this show tonight, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all make sure y'all tap in with us, man. You did. Appreciate everybody tapping in, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could be anywhere in the world.
Just like to be here with us. But
y'all right here with us, man. Y'all know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. I know y'all be do, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Humble. Let me take that word down. Humble. We're very appreciative of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Very appreciative, man. I gotta get my mind frame out of using that word, man. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all,
trophies for the whole team.
I just think this song just represents the whole financial awareness, man. You feel me? Y'all already know what it is, man. You know what I mean? Because when you get financially independent, man, and when you have generational wealth, man, you always gonna be putting yourself and everybody around you, especially your family, in a position to win.
Right.
You feel me? So it's only right that we start and end the show with nothing but some E&E. You feel me? Tap in, walk with us, man. Just keep winning it. Hey, shout out to my brother King Els, man. Just keep winning and do what you do, man. You feel me? But always stay true, no matter what you do. Tap in with us tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You did. Make sure y'all go ahead. Y'all be up on that website. You understand what I'm saying? That Patreon there too. Rolling across the bottom of the screen. It's content on there. It's got the report sessions coming in. Brother, you back in that booth real heavy.
Fronto spaz on this motherfucker.
Ha. E&E. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, it's harder to sleep. At nighttime I plan, in the daytime I execute plan. Watch the advance, split it with fan. Single we nothing, play beaches on sand. Check the expand, we built up the brand. Came a long way from shaving the grass. Shout out to the most high, bruh. All the motivations out the mud. Now when I leave, I'm out of touch. This that more like turn it up. Major diff between love and lust. At the end, all start with trust. Like Lou Haynes up in them shorts. Played it wet like I'm on the coast. This hit mountain no brag and boast. Different respect like bread and toast. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true.
Sometimes we win, but I never lose. Accepting defeat, excuse me, refuse. Lyrically spit, just one of my rules. All in my zone like Syracuse. Cautious to sit, my blow a fuse. Like Tupac, we spit camera crews. Their voices lit, cameras and views. 100 mixtapes, no interviews. Sometimes we stall, sometimes we bruise. Just know the path is something we choose. Never we rap, we pack venues. Rapping these beats is my revenues. Cats is fake, look at these dudes. Think shit sweet, like sugar cubes. Santa Fe mean, body is rude, tires is clean. Look at them shoes. Just keep winning and do what you do. Cause that's how we move. Follow our image and do what we do. We showing the proof. 3-story house with 40 rooms. 4 in the back with swimming pools. Nothing is free. We pay our dues. Smoking that sticky Gorilla Glue.
Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true, just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true.
I gotta win, don't know how to lose. Clean as a fuck, bright in my jewels. Burning this gas, stink up the room. Palmers and leaves, we dropping it soon. Virgil with L's, exit or doom. Locking the game, crazy is true. D&E shit, this what we do. Charging you niggas cause we pay-per-view. Silence the critics and fuck niggas too. Hating is only gonna get you the flu. It's common, I'm cold, the virus is proof. Gelato the strain, my shit is the truth. We on the up, rally the troops. All of my niggas just spaz in the booth. That's all about business, I got on the suit. We plan to get millies and hop out of coops. I'm Tropicana, I got the juice. My bitch is bad, sweet as a tooth. Jacking my style, niggas really be mad. I follow the flow that they think they might have. Straight to the money, I'm getting the bag. Leaving them leaking, go get on my pad. I'm one of the best, I refuse to be last. Thought we was done, now we right on your ass.
Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. Apply all the lessons and show how to improve. Call out your mood and dock out the truth. Watch what they do, but focus on you. Just keep winning and do what you do. Homie say true,
Tap
just keep
in with
winning and do
tomorrow
what
night,
you
man,
do.
9 p.m., y'all. Have a good evening, man.